Hey guys, it's Lewis here. Welcome to a new video. And today it's not about IndyCar. We're talking about Doriane Pin. Doriane Pin, one of my favorite racing drivers at the moment. I've been following her for a few years, and this is about her choice to switch from supercars, from prototypes to endurance racing. But if you guys don't know who Doriane Pin is, let me give you a long background. So basically, she currently competes in F1 Academy full time, combined with FRECA and Formula Regional Middle East part time, all for Prema. She's currently 21, born in January, I believe, 2004. She started karting at 9 in 2016, and she graduated from karts not too long after. 3 years after, she did 3 years of national karting. She finished 10th in her first year. She finished 5th in her second year, both in the junior category. And finally, she won the female category of the French Karting Championship and graduated the year after. Her family was running out of money for racing, and she participated in the FIA Girls on Track Rising Stars event for a Formula 4 seat, but unfortunately, she finished second, so she wasn't able to obtain that Formula 4 seat. And her family had no money to the point they couldn't even afford for a full Formula 3 or full Formula 4 weekend. But Renault was nice enough to invite her to Renault Clio Cup for 3 rounds, which led her to get an invite from Iron Dames. At this point, Iron Dames was fresh, right out of the box, to test the Ferrari 48 GT3. She was so impressive, she earned herself a full-time Le Mans Cup entry under GT3 and 2 starts for Ferrari Challenge Europe. Now, in Le Mans Cup for GT3, along with Sarah Boivin and Manuela Gossner, they'd finish on the podium for 5 out of 7 races with 2 second places and 3 third places, and they'd end that championship in 5th place. Doriane Pin, as I said, would do 2 starts of Ferrari Challenge Europe. She finished 6th at both of them, both at Mugello. And after this year, 2021, she'd move on to Ferrari Challenge Europe for full time. So she'd do one full season. And let me tell you, she was absolutely dominant. She won 9 races. She got 10 poles, 11 fastest laps, 13 podiums in total in a 14 race season. She won the title a race early. And that only race that she didn't finish on the podium, she finished 4th. Absolutely immaculate. This put her on the map. And during 2022, she was also promoted to ELMS, a European Le Mans Series C, replacing Rahal Frey for the last 3 races, where she, combined with Michelle Gatting and Sarah Boivy, would take the first podium for Iron Dames in ELMS at Spa. Actually, might not be the first podium. Sorry. They also took their first race win at the 4 hours of Portimao, the race after. So in a 3 race stretch, there was 2 podiums. They didn't finish the other race, but at the finale, as I said, they won the 4 hours of Portimao, which was Iron Dame's first win in the LMS. And this was the final race of the season, as I said. So funnily enough, the girl squad of Iron Dames, actually beat the men's team. They were one position above them in the standings after this win. And also, alongside Boivy, Gatting again, and Rahal Frey, Iron Dames would win the 2022 24 Hours of Spa in their class. So Doriane, it was all playing up Doriane Street. She absolutely broke out this year, and this is where I think a lot of people started hearing her name. She'd jump up to LMP2 the next season in 2023, having former F1 driver Daniel Kvyat and renowned Lamborghini factory driver Mico Berlotti as her teammate, and they'd podium once at the first race in Sebring. And the year wasn't too great, but they scored a pole in Portimao. They would have finished on the podium at Spa, but they got a safety car infringement penalty at the end of the race, which dropped them down to 10th place. This was obviously a learning year for Doriane, her first year in prototypes in LMP2. And she was very impressive. Many times she was quicker than Kvyat. Obviously, Daniel Kvyat, he's a former Formula 1 driver. And in my opinion, he was pretty good. Obviously, he was inconsistent, but I think he was a pretty good driver. And she'd also make a few one-offs for the Iron Dame Simsa program. She made four in total, three in 2023 and one in 2024. The one in 2024 being her best finish of a sixth place at the 24 Hours of Daytona. Unfortunately, in 2023, she DNF both from the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the 24 Hours of Spa. And now we're getting into the point of transition territory. So in the middle of 2023, there was this beginning of a transition. I believe she did F4 Middle East at this point, where she showed a lot of skill, but there wasn't too many good drivers in that series. It's like the top of the field was stacked, and then it was just drivers that weren't too great. And this is kind of where the video title stems from. So I was already a Doriane Pin fan at this point. I became a fan after 2022 when she went to Prema with the LMP2 program. And I personally believe that the idea of her switching from supercars to Formula cars was a very bad decision. And we've seen a lot of people come before her, people with potential, who've made that decision and their careers just not panned out. And it could be drivers that you don't even know their names because they've fallen that much, or you only know their name because maybe they were able to bounce back despite not making it. They found another seat in whether it was supercar racing or whatnot. But a lot of these drivers, they give up a near guaranteed success in stuff like supercars and for a slim chance to make it in Formula One, and it doesn't pan out. And she's the biggest young female talent around. She by far has the potential to be the best female racing driver this world's ever seen. I mean, she already has a good case. She's only 21. She's one of the best drivers in Formula One Academy, but the problem with Formula One Academy, it's an FIA PR series. Yeah, females get a stage, but you don't get a true ladder. There's not really a way to move there. And yes, she's a part of the Mercedes Driver Academy. You'd think that'd give her a bit of a boost, but I think her career is in a stall right now because in FRECA, she's not doing that well. She shouldn't have been in FRECA the first place because she should have been put in Formula 3, in my opinion. And I don't really see where she would go after she wins Formula One Academy, for instance. What is she going to do? Is she going to do another round of FRECA? She's been doing FRECA for, nearly 3 years now? And this is coming from a point where she was rumored to be a part of the Lamborghini GTP effort when they were entering WEC and IMSA. She had such a good platform. She could have been in a GTP drive at this point. Or, if the unfortunate happened, if you don't know, WEC, they had to drop one of their classes, so they ended up dropping LMP2 for most events. And if that were to happen to her, she'd most likely have to go back to a drive-in GT3, whether it's in IMSA or WEC. But she would have had another possibility to also move up, or she could have also gone to IMSA. She could have participated in the IMSA LMP2 series. But with the growth in sports car racing we are seeing now and how good Doriane Pin is, one of these up and coming manufacturers surely would have picked her up. I mean, you had Aston Martin who come in. You have Ford, McLaren, and Genesis who are entering in the years to come. I think by far, even if she had to take that demotion, you could call it, to GT3, I think she'd still be in a really good spot because I don't see a reason why any of these manufacturers wouldn't have given her a shot. I mean, at every single level, ever since 2022, every single level of sports car racing she's done, she's proven she's one of the best. She's got the potential to be. I mean, she showed flashes in open wheel cars, but she hasn't been consistent and substantial except F1 Academy, which F1 Academy, look, I feel like the skill gap is tightened this year. I will say that. But last year, especially last year, it was all over the place. But I just believe, as a Doriane Pin fan, and someone else on Twitter was talking about this earlier, I think we're just wasting time here, and we're wasting her career. Obviously, I believe she's got a choice in this, so I don't think she feels like that, but I don't think we're going anywhere, and that's why I've decided to make this video. So if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button for more. Tell me if you agree in the comment section below. If you agree or disagree, tell me why. Tell me why you think what she's doing is a good idea. Tell me if you do think she'll make it to Formula One. And have a good night. See you later. Bye. Peace.